Gregory Horton here, three-time Olympic medalist and world champion in track and field. Thank you all for taking the time to support this channel. We appreciate all that you have done. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. If you have a family member or a friend who is an athlete or a fan to track and field and they would like to see the Jamaican athlete become the best version of themselves, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We cannot take on this monumental task without your help and without your support. Today, we are going to look at an interview that was done by Coach Glen with SportsMax, and he reveals some valuable information that I think all athletes and fans should know. He asks some pertinent questions that can help track and field in Jamaica become bigger and better. And as a result of that, I would like to break down some of the things that he said as he addressed these valuable points to say that we as a country require a whole lot more from those who are in charge if we are to grow and to continue to dominate track and field around the world. So listen to what Coach Mills has to say, and after you hear his viewpoints, then I will come back with my commentaries. Thanks again for your support. I see you soon.
At the top, you get the support that you need. But from where I sit, Jamaica is sitting on a cliff where track and field is concerned, because there is no support at the grassroots period where the athlete is transitioning from the junior level to international. The program depends a lot on the creativity of racers, MVPs, sprint tech, etc. And there is no stable support in terms of financing, as far as I know, that we could say from a national or central body, that you could say a young athlete could apply for development money for maybe 2-3 years, at least for Olympic cycle, and so on. And so if you look at the performance of the athletes who are excelling and bringing the glory, I think I would venture to say that 99% of them are all sponsored athletes.
Yeah.
So if you don't get out of the starting block with sponsorship, you're going to be finding yourself in deep waters. Mm-hmm. Every year, I would say there is at least 10 to maybe 15 potential talent that could move to the top tier. Mm-hmm. But the question, not many, I mean, if 2 or 3 get out there. And so, especially in the men, what you're seeing is the deficiency of the younger ones moving up to take the position in numbers that would not show the kind of weakness that we are complaining about.
So there are some things that Coach Mills said that I will address. One of them is, what is the responsibility of the JOA and the J3As, since they are responsible to make sure that athletes in the country is properly developed. He also wanted to know if some of the money is collected through sponsorship, if these money would be reinvested in athletes' development. And these are pertinent questions that one must ask. He also wanted to know, he also explained the main reason athletes are not able to transition from the high school programs into the professional league. And again, it always comes down to funding. So he also made it very clear that these athletes are not able to fund themselves. So let us take a closer look to the questions that he is asking, to see how we as fans, we as athletes, we as supporters can help these athletes to become the best version of themselves. So there are a few questions that I too would like to pose to these institutions who are in charge of funding. Where is the money collected from the JOA or the J3A? Where do these monies originated? Are they from sponsorship? Are they from shoe endorsements? These are pertinent questions that anyone would want to know. How many athletes are funded yearly? Again, if the purpose of the federation is to improve and enhance athletes' development, then that is a fair question to ask. How many of these athletes are funded yearly? The other question that is important to us: how is the funding decided, assuming that these athletes are supported? That is also an important question to know. And if these monies are directed to athletes, where is the evidence that these monies are being reinvested into programs and infrastructure? One thing we know for sure is that we don't see a whole lot of infrastructure being in place, and we still don't see a lot of programs being in place. Also, it is fair to ask the question, who decides what to fund and where to put these funds? That is also important question that we all need to know. And where is the level of accountability? Those who are in charge, do they share this knowledge to the athletes or to the executives? Because it is fair for us to ask the question, where is the accountability? Now, I too have some suggestions that I would like to share, because I feel that if Jamaica is to continue its dominance in this world, then we must put in infrastructure that can help all athletes. It shouldn't be where we complain that the athletes are not being the best version of themselves when they don't have the proper infrastructure to enhance what they do. In the interview, Mr. Mills made it very clear that even some of the basic equipment, hurdles, jumping bags, discus, that these things are not even available. And if these things are not available, why? Also, I would recommend that a nutritional program is in place for all athletes. At least if the money is being reinvested, it should be reinvested based on the athletes who we feel are most likely to be successful. And is there a mental training program that can help athletes to deal with some of the many challenges that they are faced? Again, these are just some basic questions that I am sure you would like to know, and I also would like to know. This week, I will go deeper into some of these discussions. And I am hoping that when I go into these discussions, that we will have a clearer picture of what needs to be done if we are to help the many athletes who have demonstrated tremendous talents over the years. And finally, Mr. Mills made it very clear that approximately 15 athletes per year who were or who are good enough to transition successfully into the professional arena, that they are not able to transition successfully because of lack of funding. I think now is the time we as a nation, we as a people, must really think carefully as to what we need to do in order to give some of these athletes a better chance to become the best version of themselves. Again, I thank you all for listening. I am Dr. Gregory Houghton. Have a blessed day.